And the feeling is entirely mutual. Now, I hope that the highlight of my year will include the release of the blockbuster, feature-length, cinema release, global documentary film, The Killings of Tony Blair. Will be packing them in cinemas all over the world. At least that's my plan. I have felt for some years now that somebody had to stop Tony Blair, whose rise has seemed inexorable, at least if you measure things in material terms. Since being chased out of office in Downing Street, although not before receiving a blood and tear-spattered farewell from his fellows in the House of Commons, with very, very few exceptions, has been amazing. He has earned tens of millions of pounds. He has stopped the traffic, in the words of one of his aides, all over the world. He is the advisor to more foreign governments than you can shake a stick at. He is the consultant and otherwise employee of corporations, some of them so grisly I can hardly bear to name them. He is a London taxi cab for hire from any corporation, any foreign potentate who'll flag him down and offer him a cheque. This film is already underway. Interviews have begun, research is copious, and we hope, at least, to have him fired as the peace envoy for the Middle East, and not since Caligula appointed his own horse as a proconsul of Rome has there been a more inappropriate appointment than that of Tony Blair as the peace envoy to the Middle East, dripping as he is in the blood of peoples throughout the Middle East. We hope to have him sacked. We hope to make his reputation so toxic that no one will want to hire him. And ultimately, we want to see him in the dock at The Hague on charges of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and crimes against the British people. The name of the film is chosen thus. It's not me killing Tony Blair, although probably a lot of people would pay to see that movie. It's about the killings of Tony Blair, the killing of the Labour Party that the country depended on, the working people in the land depended on for the best part of 100 years, the killing of 1 million people plus in Iraq and Afghanistan and elsewhere, and the financial killing that he's been making out of the previous two killings. We have funded, as we discussed earlier with Max and Stacey, we have funded this film by a novel mechanism called crowdfunding. And that idea was brought to me by the assistant director of The Killings of Tony Blair, Greg Ward. Greg, thanks very much for joining us. Tell us, first of all, about the crowdfunding model, how we employed it to build a war chest, or an anti-war chest, an anti-warmonger chest, to make this movie.
Well, first of all, Kickstarter is the crowdfunding platform that we use, and there are many other different kinds of crowdfunding out there, but we decided to go with that one for several reasons. And the way that works is it's an all-or-nothing platform, so if you have to set a target at the beginning, and that target you have to reach, and it's a financial target.
Or you get nothing.
Or you get nothing at all. So the financial target that we set at the beginning was £50,000. And if you know anything about filmmaking, you would know that £50,000, although it sounds a lot to the average person, is actually a very, very small amount to make a film.
Fahrenheit 9/11 cost millions of dollars to make.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and our ambitions are to be up there with Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah.
So we're just having to do things in a different way. And the beauty of things now is equipment these days costs a lot less than it may have done 10 years ago. So we have the ability to kind of do things that way now. And it's the same way with the internet and the same way with crowdfunding. We don't have to rely on big television companies to fund us. We don't have to rely on big people to give us the money and perhaps
and exercise power, of course, because there's no such thing as a free lunch. If a mogul comes along and says, "I'll give you £500,000 to make your movie," he's going to want control over it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great things about Kickstarter. It's your film. You keep 100% of the ownership. It's your idea. You don't need to answer to anyone but yourself, and potentially the people that have helped you get there, your funders, your fans.
So we set a target of 50,000, and we gave ourselves 40 days to reach it.
That's right.
How long did it take to reach the 50,000?
Well, a matter of days. We got it in 5 days, something like that. Or it was in the first week. We on the first day that we launched, we raised £20,000, which is unheard of, really, in film crowdfunding. And one of the amazing things about this project is we actually broke a record. We are at the moment the most funded film of any kind in the UK, and globally we are the third highest. Last time I checked, we're the third highest documentary. So that's a massive,
phenomenal
achievement. And
so we set out to reach 50.
Yeah.
We reached 163
Mm-hmm.
on Kickstarter alone.
Mm-hmm.
Other monies have come in through PayPal, indeed are still coming in through PayPal. My wife tells me every couple of hours that we've had £15, £20, £50 from here, there and everywhere around the world. And we still need more funding, because you say even £163,000 is peanuts in the movie business.
That's right.
But we're doing things in many respects in a different way. We're looking at these 3 killings of Tony Blair. We're filming, we're interviewing, and we're researching some really startling facts. Just tell the people when they can expect to be able to go to the cinema and see this.
Well, the filming process does take a long time. We've got the research stage, we've got the filming stage, then we've got the post-production, and after that we have various distribution and all sorts of things to sort out. But we're looking at hopefully have it all done within a year, maybe perhaps
this time next year. We hope this will be a busy Christmas film, yeah?
That's what we're hoping, yes.
Greg, you've been an absolute inspiration in this process. I'd never heard of Kickstarter before you brought this idea to me. We're already talking about our next film and the film after that. I hope that you and I are a partnership in the movie business for a very long time to come.
I hope so too.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us. That's Greg Ward, the Assistant Director of The Killings of Tony Blair, which will be out next year, in the autumn or early winter, we hope, of next year. And you'll be able to go to the cinema and see it later. You'll be able to buy the DVD, and later still you'll be able to watch it, I hope, on the best television stations. Well, that's the end now of the Mother of All Christmas podcasts.